let's not be naive here and point out the crimes. Yeah, we know about the crimes, and I'll get into more details in a minute, but why purge the Bidens? They never purged the Clintons. We can't get rid of the Clintons. We have Bill Clinton for 8 years. Hillary Clinton was the likely president in 2 different elections. Keep that in mind. The one Barack Obama where he beat her in the primary, she was the presumptive nominee and the presumptive president then. And then turned around and ran against Trump. And every poll said Hillary Clinton would win. She's been Secretary of State, Senator. We cannot get rid of the Clintons. But how? Why did the Clintons stick around so much longer than the Bidens? Why were the Clintons tolerated and the Bidens weren't? Well, as much as this pains me to say, because I'm not personally a big fan, Bill Clinton is one charming dude. He's infamous for it. If you go to Washington, D.C., or you deal with anyone in political circles, people will simply say, when the guy walked in a room, he made everybody feel like he was their best friend. Everyone loved it. Republicans, Democrats, oh, that Bill, crazy Bill. They loved him. Joe Biden is a jerk. It's not just that he's an idiot. He's a jerk. He's been a jerk forever. His dirtball son's a jerk. They're jerks. And that's why I think all this stuff is coming to light, and they're going to be bounced. He's just not charming enough to stick around. What's the latest on Hunter Biden? Well, Hunter Biden knocked up a woman, got a woman pregnant. I understand there are kids watching, so I'm going to be as delicate about this situation as humanly possible. Hunter Biden got a woman pregnant. She was a dancer, not professional. Well, I guess actually she was very professional. Not ballet or something like that. More of a kind of a bad part of town type dancer. Makes sense? Bad part of town dancer. And he ended up getting her pregnant. And she had the baby. It's a daughter. That's Hunter Biden's daughter. That's Joe Biden's granddaughter. And it just came out now that she's settled with Hunter Biden, dropping the amount of child support payments he has to pay. And as part of the settlement, Hunter Biden has insisted, and she has agreed, that she cannot use the family name. Yeah, that's ugly. It's really bad. Maybe even worse than that is Joe Biden, President of the United States of America, the man with now 7 grandchildren, because that baby, whether or not you like her or not, or like that she's there, is most definitely your grandchild, Joe. She's his 7th. Joe Biden is still out there, such a piece of trash, saying he has 6 grandchildren.
I have 6 grandchildren, and I'm crazy about them. And I speak to them every single day. Not a joke.
Yeah, crazy about them. Sure. Anyway, let's move on to what the system is doing to the Bidens. That's very reflective of the jerk family they are. They're just jerks. They treat everyone like crap. Hunter, though, well, this is a little deal. Here's a text from Hunter to one of the Chinese executives. Now, I want you to pause for a moment. Before I read this text from Hunter to one of the Chinese guys, sorry, Mr. Producer, let's all keep in mind that Hunter Biden is a grease fire of a human being. No real qualifications or special skills of any kind. And I'm actually not trying to be mean to him there. He doesn't provide anything to your business. Whatever your business is, whether you pound nails for a living, whether you run a law firm, which we'll get to in a moment, no matter what you do, Hunter Biden, just for his personal problems alone, his drug issues alone, is not somebody who would really be that employable, not in any significant way. So this text I find to be very interesting. This is his text to a Chinese executive. I can make $5 million in salary from any law firm in America. If you think it's about money, it's not. The Bidens are the best at doing exactly what Chairman wants from this partnership. Please, let's not quibble over peanuts. The Bidens are the best. Plural. One, who would pay Hunter Biden $5 million for anything? He doesn't have the skills. So let's skip past the obvious part. They're not paying Hunter Biden for anything Hunter Biden can provide. They would pay Hunter Biden for things Joe Biden can provide. Joe Biden, United States Senator Joe Biden, Vice President Joe Biden, now President Joe Biden. And the question I'm going to keep bringing up until I'm blue in the face here on I'm Right is, yes, we know about the bribery payments. We know the Biden family's dirty. We know they're getting money from this and that and the other, and we get all that, but what are they giving in return? Because they're giving something. $5 million, no matter how much money you have, is real money, and you don't write a $5 million, $10 million check to anybody unless you're getting something in return. And no one wants to ask that question. What are they getting in return? Which brings us to this IRS whistleblower and my theory. You see, what we know now is Hunter Biden takes his money from Burisma and he launders it through one of his business partners, so he doesn't have to pay taxes on it. So it's not even just that they're dirty and they take bribes. They can't even be bothered to pay taxes on the bribes that they take in. This is what it is. Which brings us to a Mr. Gary Shapley. Now, I need to say something, and it's important. You know, I'm not big on qualifiers, but I do need to say this, because oftentimes I will know something. I'll get a little tip or inside baseball, and when that comes along, I tell you I know something. And then sometimes I just have a theory. And I need to be crystal clear about this out of fairness to Gary Shapley. This is only a theory. What I'm about to say is purely a theory. And this is my theory. Gary Shapley, this IRS whistleblower, out there dropping dimes on the Bidens all over the place for all their malfeasance. Isn't that a great word? It's just naturally assumed that he's either a good citizen or a Republican or something like that. I don't believe Republicans are trying to take out the Bidens. They're not smart enough to do that. I don't believe the Republicans would take out the Bidens. They don't have the guts to actually do that. Republicans don't have the guts to actually take out Democrats politically. Who took out Andrew Cuomo in New York? Was it Republicans for all those COVID deaths? No, it was Democrats. Democrats are the ones who have the guts and will to take out people who are in their way. So while I praise a lot of these whistleblowers, especially the FBI ones, I'm not so sure that this IRS whistleblower is working on behalf of you and I and the people. I think Democrats, I think the system, just a theory, I think the system's behind this guy.
If this was any other person, they likely would have already served their sentence. I documented exactly what happened, and it doesn't seem to match what the Attorney General or the U.S. Attorney are saying today. There were certain investigative steps that we weren't allowed to take that could have led us to President Biden.
And you wanted to take them?
We needed to take them.
And you weren't allowed to take them?
That's correct.
Interesting, isn't it? You know what else is interesting? Maybe you think my theory doesn't hold any water, and maybe it doesn't. Remember, it's just theory. Well, the New York Times is probably the most evil media publication in the United States of America. Remember, this is the New York Times that had writers covering for Stalin as he was starving millions of Ukrainians. Maybe even more egregious, this is the New York Times that kept the #4 best-selling book in the United States of America off the New York Times bestseller list, which was 15 books. The New York Times is an evil, communist, treasonous organization that has done nothing but harm this country since its inception. The New York Times has rushed forward to verify some of all this IRS stuff. Why would they do that? The Republican New York Times? Hardly. Why are reporters now regularly, not once in a while, this isn't a one-off, reporters are now regularly harassing Biden and Biden's people about the Hunter Biden stuff. This isn't how these apparatchiks normally act.
President Biden, how involved were you in your son's Chinese shakedown text message? Were you sitting there? Were you involved?
No, I wasn't, and I don't.
Were you?
No.
Getting testy, isn't he? You've seen Corinne diversity hire get testy. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting what's happening and who seems to be lining up against Joe. TikTok, the Jesse Kelly theory that we'll see Gavin Newsom soon. How long have I been telling you that? What's it been, a year or more? Been telling you it's coming. TikTok.
For too long, we've been led to believe that communism is a thing of the past. But the truth is, communism is alive. It's here, and it's infiltrating every aspect of American life. Introducing the Anti-Communist Manifesto by Jesse Kelly, the practical guide for patriots ready to defend our nation from its most dangerous enemy. Discover the shocking extent of communist infiltration in our education system, their alliance with American corporations, and the twisted truth behind environmentalism. This eye-opening book exposes the true face of communism and empowers you to fight back. Join the fight for freedom. Pre-order your copy of the Anti-Communist Manifesto today by going to jessekellybook.com.